Alright, let's see how this works. Testing out Restream. A little bit concerned. I mean, everything seemed to be set up fine. I think we're streaming okay. I'm a little concerned about the chat though. The chat's saying to activate, please enable channels, but they definitely are enabled. So, see what happens. Hopefully I won't miss any chats or anything like that, since that's fairly important. And yeah, see how this goes. Okay, let's say today what I need to do is I need to go through and get to, let's see, I'll convert over, I guess, the plugin. Finish the plugin piece. I got it yesterday, so what it was doing is we got it, so it's basically running. It all works fine. So if I didn't enable the plugin, so we can still test it. I think there's only one thing I need to do on the export side of things. So let me grab Blender, and then we will load the script. Let's see where we last left off. And so stage one is basically where I take things and then I convert them, add a rig, all that good stuff. And so the centering now works. Yesterday, before I left, I didn't have this last line put in place, I think. Oh, no, I did. The part that I was missing is this piece here. We had this piece here where you have to kind of like set the axis angle. And then once the axis angle is set on the rotation mode, that populates this value. Without this, you don't get anything. And so if you just called this rotation axis angle, you'd get a 0. If you simply set this first, then you get the actual value you need, and that does the math. And so that was the missing piece from yesterday. I pretty much just stopped the channel, got a drink, and when I came back, I was like, oh, okay, let me try this, and yeah, it worked fine. So that's done. I think stage one is about as good as it can get. I think that's as fully automated as possible. The steps left for myself is after I do that, I have to figure out the start and stop frame. I typically delete any cruft either in the front or behind it, cruft being the animation frames, and then I do an export, and that's where stage 2 comes in. And so stage 2, what we basically do here is we prep it for the store, and we also do any saves. So I save the blend files, I save I save an FBX file, I save a GLTF file, and I put them in these folders, and these folders are like to store. And so the storefront is where I can bundle these up and just kind of resell them. So if I'm doing an animation for either just generically from requests, or if somebody wants a discount when they're doing stuff, I can put these up on the store for anybody to use. Or sometimes I just we'll make them for other projects, and that's how they get there. So those are there, and so the only extra thing is just this meta piece. And so there's a meta. I'll make this bigger. So there's a meta file that also goes there. Now, the meta file won't end up in the zip file for the store. This just has information in it about what it's done and what it created. And so one of the this is what it basically puts in there. It takes the original take file. And so this file is the piece that basically tells you, like, oh, that was, take 10, from that. I don't know if it has the date on it. I might want to record the date. Just thinking out loud, but probably need that in here. So this way, if you ever want to go back to the raw data and I have to like redo something or, update something, not only will I have a reference to what this animation came from, but I could also automate that if I need to. This is all in a, I think I'm using JSON here. Yeah, this is a JSON format. And then I also say how many frames this is total. And right now I'm going to basically use the frames to calculate on a machine, what your ETA is. So that you have, however long to do that rendering. And those are for the animated GIFs for the thumbnails and whatnot. And then all I do is I put the version of the plugin I used to create it, because that may be important later. I think as I've talked about when I did my other versioning stuff for the Godot, is putting in versions nice and checking versions nice, because if you ever make major changes that could break things, well, that will identify like, hey, okay, cool, like now we have this new adaptation I have to deal with. And then, okay, so we save that. Say export completed. And that's it. So it's really just a function that just saves things. It does do a bunch of settings. So this huge line here, those are all the settings I need for FBX. So FBX has a bunch when you're exporting, and a lot of them break it. And so this makes sure that does not break when exporting, and just make sure that every time I do this, I used to do this by hand. Not only is it time consuming, it's possible to make mistakes, and I don't want to do that. And so, yeah, so I think the only thing left to do here is I could delete the animation frames myself, or via script, or what I could do is I could work on the Godot side of things, and you know, because right now in Godot I'm not reading the meta file, and so I can do that and import that one. But I think, let's see, I think what I might try and do, let's just go through one of these real quick, and I just want to make sure there's, before I move on past Blender, let's just do an import FBX, and then this one, I was using 10 yesterday, so we'll use 10 again. Okay, so this one loads. Oh, I didn't run the script. I don't have the plugin on by default anymore. Okay, and so let's just give it a name. Let's just give it like a test output name. Okay, and then we'll render this, or we'll rig it. Okay, so rigged, that's good. And everything's centered and, you know, facing the right direction. Very nice. We got the little animation. He's supposed to be dropping a clip and then reloading from his belt, I think, and then goes back to idle. All right, so let's just pretend we're going to keep this. Let's say 96 is a good end frame. And so what we'll do is I'll delete these. And so I could automate this step here. I want it. Maybe I will. Delete keyframes. And then we will set this to 96. All right, and that's pretty much all I do by hand now. The rest is all automated, so pretty easy. If I look at scripting, let's see what kind of happens here. So I did an action delete, so it did a select. Oh, that was for a box select, I see. So I wouldn't do that part in code. So if I wanted to automatically delete things, the way I'd do that is I'd set the end frame, and then set the end frame, and then it would just delete the extras. I could. Think about it. I do think I'll set the start and end frame to by hand, because I also may want to adjust the animation. Sometimes I grab the entire block and I shift it left to right if I don't want the start of it. You know, maybe the actor did something wrong, or we did a couple takes in one, which I don't really like to do, but sometimes you start something, you're like, oh no, hold on, and you just do it again. And so when that happens, you basically just need to shift it past one, so it's like starts in the negative, and delete the forefront stuff. And so if I were to do a deletion, I would check for any animation cycles prior to frame 1 and then after frame end, just to clean that up. But I don't think we'll work on that today. I think we're gonna do the second part. And so the second part would be, okay, we decide we like this. We will click on export. And then it should be doing it now, and it closes. That didn't crash. It does close. Well, it might have crashed, but shouldn't have. Let's see here. What does this add on? Stage 1 retard. Oh, maybe it did. Line 212, unrecognizable, unregistering class. Oh, and unregister. Oh, it kind of crashed on its way of shutting down. So, I mean, That's fine. Doesn't even matter. It's closing anyway. So basically it's saying it was trying to unload all the things and it could unload something, and then but it closed anyway. So just again, doesn't matter. Drinking coffee. Okay, let me see if I got Godot open. I do. All right, so where this was left off at, I think we got to do is process a good take. We did a negative take last time, and now we need to do a good one. So this is where we left off. So when I reject a take, Godot takes it back, it updates the spreadsheet now, puts word retake here, puts bad take here. Coloring this to red via script was actually a huge pain in the butt, so I ended up doing a conditional format that's just built into the spreadsheet. So for this entire column, whenever this word over here says the word retake, it turns that to red. Or maybe it has it all together. So I make it not retake, on retack, that doesn't count. So, but when it's retake, it makes it red. So that just makes my scripting a lot easier, and it still makes it red. It's fine. It's just not what I was originally planning on doing. So let's do gun and knife aiming. And so one of the reasons this doesn't process is because I had taken 2 takes, and so I use the syntax just because it's easier when we're doing like multiples. So I'll insert this below. Let's just copy, paste that. This we can copy and paste, and then we'll make a 5 and a 6, and we'll have to add something unique here. So make this 1 and make this one. Oops. Make this one 2. All right. So I've broken these off. Oh, here's that custom regex thing. So I've broken these 2 up into 2 now, so it's not this type of thing. I could do this for the rest of them, but I think I will just start with these. And yeah, I think that should work. I might need to move this down. Okay. All right, so now in Godot, if I were to run, okay, so, oh, I got to refresh the take. That's the cache. I was wondering why that was there. All right, so this is different now. And so we have our 2 aimings, and these are yellow because I haven't named them, because they're going to have to get a special name. Let me check one thing real quick. All right. And okay, so let's give this call this one gun, knife, aim 1, and then say process. That brings up Blender. Oh shoot, I forgot to install the plugin. So the plugin's not there for it to actually execute on because it uses the hack.top plugin. So what we need to do is I need to enable that real quick. So I turned that off when we were developing it. I'll just do an install. Okay. Did it do it? Yeah, looks like I did it. Yeah, version 4, which is the new one. Make sure it's there. There, version 4. Oh, funny. Maybe I did have it on there because it's got the gun and knife atom, so I guess it's fine. Maybe I don't run stage 1 retarget by default. Oh, I don't, because I don't know if it was a female actor or male actor at that stage. I guess I could load in profiles at some point in time, so when you put the actor in the spreadsheet, it could be, it's obviously somebody I know. They've been in the studio, so I can always, create a profile about other metadata about that actor, which could be useful, like their height and, the way they identify from a gender perspective. So if your motion's a little bit different when you're walking or whatever, you probably want to assign it to something that looks a little closer to whatever they identify as. All right, so let's load up this. This is the gun knife aim 1. We're doing a first retarget. All right, so it did not work 100% on this one. Interestingly, the other one did not delete. It is still there. I don't know if it's going to cause a problem, but just strange. All right, so this person All right, because yeah, they're not going to. Also, there's two different aim shots. So here's a great example where I might just want one, not the other. There might even be more to this. These are taking a while. Oh, there is. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so a lot of this is just walking. All right, so it looks like it goes about 235. All right, so there's two in here now. So let's take a look at this. I'm hitting the wrong button. So they're not really going to be aiming twice. You have this one. Okay. And then right around here at 116. Oh, there's more of a turn to face. I see. I think that was on purpose. I don't remember why. I don't know though. I think... Does this one look? So the body doesn't... I think I like that one better. Alright, so the arm wouldn't go down though. If we're just going to do an aim. Right. Trying to think, I could have the arm go back down to this, so it could be just an aim and then bring it back, or I could just do an aim and stop there. I'm trying to think what would be more useful to people. Try and remember, because they have stuff like this on Mixamo. Some aim ones. Let's take a look at their animations and see what they use. The reason why this one was made, because you can't tell, but there's actually a melee weapon in that hand, so the hands grasp onto things. Whatever it is you decide to animate there. That's the wrong one. Where is the other Chrome? Okay, let's see. Let's log into Mixamo. Alright. You're not gonna let me skip? What's happening here? Killing me, jeez. Something went wrong. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's running super slow. Oh, love it. Something went wrong and we're in anyway. Awesome. Alright, so it is running bad. I guess it could be because of streaming, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Chrome does seem to be having a hard time though. Hopefully it won't kill the stream. It might. It has frozen. Lovely. Great. Ooh. Everything is frozen. Am I dead? Don't know what this is looking like right now. My screen has just kind of gone black. Well, that is problematic. Don't know what to do about this. Guess, let me try and get, oh, here we go. And we're back. What changed? Wow, okay, sorry. Gnome shell died unexpectedly. The computer doesn't have enough free memory. So I ran out of memory, that is what happened. But it looks like I'm still streaming. Let's check. Close this one. Yeah, I think. It still looks live. Yeah, it looks like you didn't see anything different than I saw, just a bunch of blackness. It looks super unstable though. I don't think I should be doing this too much longer. There's some weird like tab issues going on. Okay, that seems to fix that. All right then. Where was I? Jeez. Oh yeah, I was trying to check out Mixamo. Yeah, my connection is getting unstable. Oof, not good. But I don't think that's because of the actual bandwidth or anything. I think it's just because Chrome died on me. Well, GNOME Shell died, which had Chrome on it. Technically, I still have it running. You know, whatever. I don't learn from my mistakes. Okay. So I want to see an aim. So the aim, here's an aim. See, all the handguns and Mixamo are two-handed, which is the problem. Oh, I guess I don't get to see the aim. I don't get to see the render of the aim. Fine. So let's see here. Looks like standing. Kind of looks like they were aiming and they put it away. Looks like the other way around. Now this one, pull it up. Yeah, they don't put it back down. It just snaps down because there's aim to down. There's they have two. They made two different ones. They aim and down and then just aim. Yeah, they got a bunch of these. Rifle idle aiming. Kneel to aim. Okay. So I could make a couple of these, I guess. I'm gonna close Mixamo since that kind of is where my problems started. All right. Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much. So if we were to do that, I think we need to do like aim and down. Yeah. So the person aim and they put it back down. Let's just do that. And then I can always make a smaller one if I need to, or honestly, anybody could do that. I think that doesn't really even matter. Oops, that is not 118. That is 118. All right, so let's get rid of all this. Don't need those. All right, so let's just look at this. So it looks, aim, and they put it back down. All right, so yeah, if somebody wanted to, they could always stop it here and do their own editing. I don't think it's too hard to do that. All right, so gun with aim. I think I'll put and down. It seems to be a good method. Okay, and then we'll do an export. So one thing I don't think I have, I don't think if I update this, it goes back into Godot. Oh, we have an error. What is the error? Writing ID class, this context is not allowed. Scene data alive. Action names. In line 72. Let's take a look what line 72 looks like. So this line doesn't like. This is in the UI. Oh, it's when I put the new word in there. Huh. That's weird. So it's okay. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So this should have only fired off if I had saved this as a blend file, which it looks like it's saved as a blend file here, which re-triggered this UI, which then wants to just take this, so gun and knife aim down and put it into the action name. That's the other thing you could do. If you saved it as a Blender file and named it, it would do this part for you as well. It's like there's two ways to automate this. So I think that's something. Okay, so that caused a crash though. Shoot. I could disable this. I don't really, this is something I did early on, so I don't really need it. So maybe we'll just comment it out for now. Why not? And then, so it did save this. I'm kind of curious what else did it save before it died. It might have actually done all the things I care about. Do I still have a terminal window up, or is that dead now? Oh, still up. Whatever. Okay. So these are stored under, let's see, mocap review, scripts, and then output to store is where things go. And so this would be gun and knife. I need to clean this up, but I have not. Gun and knife, what was it? Aim and down? Gun and knife, aim. No, and it didn't actually save it. But even though it says to store, gun, knife. Oh, it's not gun and knife, it's gun, knife. Gun, knife. Oh, here it is. Aim and down. So, okay, no, it did it all. So it did everything. Let's take a look at gun, knife. Meta. There's nothing in the meta file. Well, that's a problem. Let's look at all of them. All right, everything else has a size. Now the size is really low, which is good. Of course, except for the Blender file. The Blender file is always so big. And meta didn't work at all, so I need to fix that. So that would be here. So we look for this first. Yeah, we don't try and create the file. So the fact we create the file means we did go into here. And so this ht orig take file, this only gets set when it's called from Godot. There's no way to set this in the UI or any normal means. Only Godot can set that. And so it does that for preload script. And so that's how we kind of know we're in this automation process. And so it knows that, oh, if we're not doing this by hand, we're doing this through my little Godot program, then we need this meta file. So it opened it for write. And was there no other errors? Let's see. This is that one, which I already knew about. That one. That one. Here's the meta file close. What happened here? Name meta files not defined. Oh, right. So there's a typo there. Cool. All right, so I guess it didn't write because it crashed by that. Yeah, maybe before I got a chance to flush its buffers. Guess that's possible. I don't know about this action. Well, action has been commented out. So, all right. So if we just close this and we don't save it, I think Godot. Where's Godot at? No, not this one. Where's the program? Oh, did the program die? Oh, the program totally died. Oh, well, that's what went away. Godot went away. All right, I have no idea what's about to happen then. Let's start this up. Okay, so it's still there. All right, let's do it again. Gun, knife, aim. We'll call it aim down because I know that's what I want to eventually do. And then we'll take a look. Okay. Alrighty. So, hacked up, stay, gonna knife down, target it. It's doing its thing. Okay, there we go, that's cleaned up. Interesting. Oh, then I gotta fix this again. So, I think it was at 77, was it? No, 77 was a short. It goes all the way to, I don't know. I'll just say 116. I don't know what I did last time, but 116 will work. Block select all the things, delete those frames. All right, yeah, should be it. Stage 2 export. Let's see if it crashes. Still in its export, it's a little black box. This means. And what happened? Oh, there's an error down here. Okay, what all did we get? This might still be the old version, because I hate it when it does that. Let's see. Yep, still the old version, so that was not a useful test. What? There's an easier way to add and remove plugins. This is just kind of awful. Turn that off. And then remove it. Okay. And then reinstall it. And turn back on. Interestingly, it has the data still. Let's see what happens if I just press it again. Not the best of tests, but it'd be interesting if it worked. Okay. Couldn't find export or rejected file, not moving on to the next stage. Alright, well, that's okay. Alright, so it should have the gun and knife one. It's just the same thing. Ah, there's contents and meta. Good sign. Alright, so that's in here. We got the path. Okay, so it does have the year in the path, so I don't need to save the year in the meta. It's technically there. Frames are 118, that's correct. And that's the version. Okay. So that's good. So now we just need to make sure that Godot can see that file. For some reason it's not seeing it. It's a pretty quick process, which is nice. You know, as far as editing, lots of mocap goes. I mean, I'll have like 6 of these at a time. Okay, now I gotta switch bases and think about Godot. So, for Godot, what will we do? This would be, I think, when the base UI, we run processing. Which actually might be from the take, actually. Let me start from when we press the button. Alright, so we press the button. Alright, this runs Blender, and then we check process results. Alright, so this is where we look for the meta file. Okay, so this is where I think we got meta file not found last time. It didn't print that, did it? It printed this one. Oh no, found, I see, print this one. So yes, did not see this. What do we got here? Staging path, plus the action name, .text, parentheses, text.meta. That sounds about right. But let's print it. Meta path. All right, and then we'll just put all that there. Oh, also put the S in there. I do want to check something here. And this is ready. They get it written. Okay, good. Okay, so I imagine I have something wrong here. One thing that'd be kind of nice to have is the ability to pick up where I left off as well. So if I run the program, like it detects that the meta file already exists. And I don't have to reprocess it. How would I want it? How would I want it? I'm just thinking about this. Yeah, it would change to reprocess. I think that's what the button text should say if I choose to do that. It does. Oh, it won't have the name though. Yeah, the name is lost. The action name, which is what you fill in there. there's no good way to get that. Shoot. Okay, well, forget it. Let's just go through this step again. We might be able to come back and maybe I can bundle some kind of stuff around the take, you know, like almost like a crash file. I don't know how often that's going to happen though, so probably doesn't matter. Gun, knife, I want to keep the same name though. Gun, knife, aim, down. Double check. That's what I called it, right? Gun, knife, aim, and down, and down, and down. All right, we'll process this one. Oh, I have all my data here at least, so it's at 118. All right. Doing its thing. Okay, and then oh no, I gotta actually do something here. So this is 118. There's still a little bit of manual work, not much. Just one button I think for scrolling. Alright, and we'll delete to here. I could automate that step. I think that will eventually happen. Alright, so we'll export. Oh, let's just watch it to make sure it's right. Good aims. Yeah, that looks good. Fine. Export. Okay. Alright, here's where we print. So this we're looking for scripts output to store. Down. Oh, you know, I don't think it's in that directory yet. I think that's the problem. They eventually do get packaged like that when they're getting ready for the store. But when you're in to store, yeah, you're in the same directory because these are just like it's like its own kind of queue. So the problem is simply I just have too many of these. And so what I need to get rid of, so to store, our staging path already has a backslash. I don't need one. It would be like that. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Try this again. Gun, knife, aim, and down. Process. It's for people who join and whatnot. I can always label this. I did set this up so I can add labels now. I should at least test it. All right, so the way I would do that. So let's say like, what am I working on right now? I'm working on Godot metadata sync. So now I'll put that in the stream as well. So if anybody joins, they know what's going on. All right. So that's all set. Target. Yeah, I think I'll make that status thing nice if that ends up working. Make it look nice. Maybe make a little app for it so I can automate it. Because typing is a little slow. It'd be nice if I'm doing certain things over and over again. I can just kind of set what I'm working on. All right. Like 118. All right, and then we'll export. All right, and it's doing its thing. All right, saved all the formats. Meta file found. Aha, good. Now I didn't write the code for that. That's why nothing else happened. But that is expected. So now we've at least gone down this path. We don't need this debugging piece anymore. Print is my favorite debugger. All right, now we just gotta figure out what it is we want to do. So last time we called reject when things were rejected. And so this one, we want to, it's good. What does reject look like? Okay, reject changes these. So let's make a function for like Q for store. Let's do that. Let me think about this one for a minute. So what we need to do here from a GUI perspective is I think we should just remove it. Like it just goes away. Like it's done. I could leave it on the screen and change the button to some kind of success label, almost like a to-do achievement list as opposed to removing it. But I don't know. If I had like 60 of these, that might look ugly. I just have too much. I don't know that I care. I think I know how much work I'm doing. So I think, at least for the time being, I think I'll just turn it on. I'll just hide it. So all we're going to do is we're going to hide ourselves. So like on success, it goes away. And then we're going to emit a signal. Just like a rejected take, we'll have one for signal for Q take. Right, Q take. And then go back to here, and we will emit signal Q take, and then we pass in ourselves. Okay. I do need some kind of feedback. You gotta know you did. I mean, this will update the status. So you know what happened there. But a nice sound would be good. I don't have anything ready, so maybe next time. Takes a minute to get these. So, thanks, Goofy King. I am a hacker developer as well. I don't know why my normal chat stuff is not working nearly as well. Yes, I am a hacker. I am typically a car hacker, but right now I am working on Godot and doing some motion capture instead. It's a little more fun for me at the moment. Got bored with the car hacking thing. All right. Although, you know, who knows? Maybe one day I'll show some things with that too. I have made a plugin for Godot before where it can do things like interact with cars, like physical cars from the game engine, which is pretty cool. I don't think I ever released it publicly, but it's kind of fun, kind of interesting. I basically just made a visualizer, a three-dimensional visualizer for how your car operates from the CAN bus side, which is the networking side. And so I enjoyed doing that. It was more of a proof of concept than actually useful, I think. I thought it might be kind of cool to see it in 3D, and it ended up just being kind of noisy. But that's what happens. Okay, so we need to connect in this. So we have this tick here for rejection, and we need to also get one for successes. All right. Goofy King, you're killing me. Am I a legal hacker? No, I am not an illegal hacker. I am true's legit. Alright, so take the Q take. And then we'll make this like on take. Queued, I think would make the most sense. The best on the English. Queued. I think I can leave the error message the same. I think that's probably fine. And then I just need a function that matches this guy. We'll put it down here. Where's the reject one? Here it is. Put it by that. So it makes more logical sense. And then, so we basically have to mark that we've modified something, like something has changed since our last date. So if I end up just closing Blender, this won't actually trigger. And so like I can kind of like redo a take or whatever. But if I end up saving it, you know, say if I press stage 2, or say I want to reject it, these will trigger, and then that will resync. This will be what we're basically saying here is we're doing the modifying that if I press sync, it'll go back to Google Sheets and then sync up Google Sheets. And then let's see here. So let's change the status. Text be, let's say motion capture. Maybe, I guess just queued. Accept it maybe? I kind of like accept it. It just sounds a little nicer. So you got a little achievement. I might eventually add like nice colors or, you know, like I said, some kind of proper sound for that. And then we do basically have to say that we want to update takes, or update it takes, my bad. Pushback, take, and then this check for changes call. This is just the thing that kind of runs, and if we have anything that's been modified, it basically brings up the sync button. It's not there by default. And so, okay, so we did that. The other thing I have to do that I just realized is that I look at this, reject it. And so I think what I want to do is I want to change this to be like accept it. And so when we queue it, we'll also mark it as accepted. All right, awesome. Right now I am using, this is called GD script. This one is, it's basically like Python. So if you've ever coded in Python, it's basically the same thing. I think the only real changes you're going to get is you're not going to have the imports. Hold on, I need a drink. Okay, so it basically works in the same syntax as Python. This is built into Godot. Godot is an open source game engine. And so if you're comfortable with Python, you should be comfortable with this. You can get up and running pretty quickly. The next script I'm going to be showing is Ruby. So that's what's going to be called. That's what does the syncing. And so that's the Ruby. And then when I'm in Blender making plugins, that's also Python, but that's closer to a proper Python than what I'm in right now. This is actually GD script. It's just Python-esque, but pretty close. Pretty close. It's not too much changing back and forth. Python, yeah, and Rust and a bunch of other languages. It just depends what I need. Use the right tool for the job. C and assembler is a big one too when you're hacking. All right, so queues to take. I think in base GUI now, when you press sync is when I do the check for rejected. Where is that at? Maybe it's in check for changes. Nope. This is the button. Yeah. Okay. No. Go back and look at this. Do I change it in here? Oh, I put it right here. Okay. Well, this isn't a big deal. So we're going to do something similar. I've been using Blender on and off because, you know, it's not my main job. My main job actually is hacking. For Blender, it's just been kind of like a great way of doing art and a release. And I guess ever since it went open source, so that was probably late 90s, maybe early 2000s. I don't know. I had not used 3D programming prior to that, so it was a very, very slow learning curve. But I do love it. I think it's really good. I'll call this one Q. Queued. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm setting what's going to be the output of the CSV that gets written for the Ruby script to say queued for the status. And so ultimately, what we're going to do is in this section, this is in Google Sheets, we're going to update this to the word queued, and we're going to take the contents of the metadata and update the frames to match that, and then we will update the base name here as well, which is, you know what, that's something else I need to put in. I need to put in the base name. So we also need to say update CSV global let's see, global what? CSV takes, and then action. Or I think it's action. No, it's base name. Base name. That's a little confusing because I have these different ways. All right, so I'll take the text, make the base name, and then I'll make this thing here match whatever we typed into the Godot script. What is dark web? Dark web. You know, it's really the onion. You know, the onion routes, and so Tor. I'd get the Brave browser and then start Googling about Tor, and you'll find it soon enough. It's a good time. Okay, so that's there, and then let's see what else I need. So I'll save it. I think that's good. Actually, I think that should make this takes update. It should update it. It'll have the new thing in. It'll say synced. We're good. Let me save that. And then the only other thing I think I need to do is in Ruby. Here, where's my command prompt? There it is. So my Ruby scripts, where is this at? This should be under, is it process takes? And then I think I have an update takes that Ruby. So this is Ruby. So it's kind of like Python. It's another scripting language. This one, it's a little more complicated. It's also in a terminal window, so probably hard to read. But it's mainly complicated because I'm messing around with Google Sheets here. And Google Sheets is, their API is complicated. I am a professional hacker. Yes. That is what affords me to make a motion capture studio, is the money I get from professional hacking. And yes, Wi-Fi is included in the things that you need to hack as a professional hacker. Indeed. All right, so for Ruby, I think it's not LF. I think it's ELSIF. Oh gosh, now I've forgotten. That's the problem. You switch languages all the time. You forget syntaxes of different languages. Ruby if statement. This is pretty much how I program now. So you want to know how hackers program? It's just simply Googling syntax. See, it's a goofy. It doesn't have the E in it. This is why I have to look this stuff up. I can never remember this stuff. All right, update 6, and this one's going to be for queued. All right, so now what I'm going to do is basically the same thing I did for the retake, except I'm going to update different fields. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Right now I'm using Vim, VI improved. It's a Unix terminal editor. So if you don't really see an editor, that's why. All right. So let's see here. Looking at this. Alright, so we start kind of trying to remember how I coded this before. So the response values here, this comes from getting that spreadsheet. We get all of the cells, and so we can kind of just cycle through them, kind of see what we want. Can you hack Roblox? Is that Legos? I'm not sure what Roblox are. So I would say currently no, because I don't know what that is. But if you tell me what it is, actually let me Google it real quick. See, I like distractions. What is this? So it is Legos. I wasn't wrong, right? Game platform creation system. Oh, this is a game? It's not Legos, it's a game. Interesting. Apple Store. Interesting. Can you hack Roblox? Well, wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you get hired by them, yes. So there's also game cheating, which you may be referring to, which is a little bit different than traditional hacking. So if you're going to be a professional hacker, then Roblox Studios in this case, has to hire you. You sign an NDA, and then you usually show up at their studio, or sometimes you work remote, and then you You hack them, and then you tell them what they've done wrong, and then they fix it, and they pay you. And it's fairly lucrative, actually. And it's kind of fun. So it's a good way to do things that would be bad without getting in trouble. So I am okay. So what this is, I'm gonna start putting comments in here because I'm forgetting what these are. So this matches the date and take. And that's how you know you're in the right spot. I found the row to update. All right, now I'm tracking. Now I'm back on. So in this case, we're going to update the B column, and we're going to update the G column and the E column. All right, so let's do B first. You like Roblox? Is that a good game? It's awesome. I haven't played it. I might have to check that out. Yeah, no, I don't recommend. Definitely not hack anything if nobody's paid you to do it. That doesn't make any sense. And it has to be the person who actually owns the site to pay you. Don't fall for that. Oh, I'll give you money. I really do own the company. Go hack this thing. Because sometimes they don't, and then you go to jail. And that is not where you want to be. All right, so I make this range. I want to update 6. 6 is yeah, let's do G. Sharp G, because I know G is 6. I have to look these up. And so this one is B. And so okay, so cool. And so last time I made this bad take, and what this really needs to be for this instance is update. I don't know. Let's find out. These are in. What are the data files? What is this? Are you a black hat or white hat or gray hat? I like that you know those hats, and so for those who don't, black hat is the bad hacker, white hat's a good hacker, and gray hat's in the middle, as typically how they classify it. I would say that everybody's pretty much so in the gray area. Hackers are pretty much so chaotic evil, or chaotic neutral, I would say, not evil, more like chaotic neutral. They kind of just do what's right, and then if they don't, it's usually because they have bills to pay, and you're in a bad situation, and so most of the black hats I know, they're in countries where it's hard to make a living, or maybe you work for a government and you don't have a whole lot of choices there either. But yeah, I think anybody who's good in this profession is a bit on the gray side. I mean, if you don't know how to do the black hat hacker stuff, I don't know how you would possibly defend against it. I mean, what do you know what you're even looking for? It's like a bomb disposal expert not knowing how bombs work. Like just doesn't work. So yeah, I would classify myself as gray, and I think any real professional probably would, who's being honest at least. So 0, 1, it's 1. Okay, and then we update that as raw. And so I want to update, oh, that's right, I need to parse this. Oh, I don't need to parse. I do. I need to parse it in Godot. Actually, that's where I should parse this. So I can pre-populate that field. So when we know what meta is, let's make a function for parsing meta. It's so meta. Function parse meta. And then we'll call this the meta file. All right. Can you beat black hat? It just depends. Honestly, there are some extremely skilled black hats out there. And in general, there was definitely a time when I would say the black hats that were skilled way outnumbered the white hats that were skilled. But it's gotten a lot better now. It's just a thing. It just depends who and what you're looking at here. Because typically the way those two are quote unquote against each other is a black hat has done something like installed ransomware or broken into a server, and then a white hat has to find all their stuff, get them kicked off the servers, ideally prevent them from getting in, but realistically finding people who do find a hole, because there's always a hole somewhere, which is why penetration testing and whatnot is so lucrative. And so, yeah, I mean, if you can manage to get them out of your network and protect your company's network from people coming back in, I would say you won. But it's not really like you go after the individual. It's not quite like the movies. So this is a JSON file. So I feel I have a function somewhere that reads JSON files, but I don't remember where. This one, I think. Load settings. I could put it in global, but I don't think I need to. I think I can keep it in takes. So let's do something very similar to this. We're just going to cut and paste this to have something to start with. Not the load settings. To get rid of ransomware, yeah, sorta. And so it just depends. It depends on the type of ransomware you end up with. Some of the ransomware is very good, and you get encrypted. Your backups got encrypted, and you know they actually only have the key like on their servers. And yeah, if that's the case, then you're kind of out of luck. You know, it's crypto. Crypto's a real thing. And so if they use they roll their own crypto, or if they did a bad job storing their keys or things of that nature, then, you know, you can go get them. Typically for older ransomwares, because the way it kind of works is people make ransomware and then they usually sell it like on the black market, the dark web you're referring to. And then other individuals are the ones who actually, you know, kind of have a little gang, and they install it. So they find some vulnerability, they get in, they install somebody else's ransomware. You know, they may have it labeled for themselves, it routes bitcoins or whatever to themselves, Monero, and then yeah, I don't know, and that's just kind of works. So that they can have that ransomware is kind of used by multiple gangs, I guess you'd call them, and you know, eventually they have vulnerabilities too, just like other software has. And so some of them have vulnerabilities you can get off. Typically the best way is to simply have backups. The best thing, I mean, I wouldn't pay the ransomware if I was you, but it depends on your situation. It's better just to have an offline backup. You back things up, you disconnect it from your machine, and if you ever get ransomware, you just wipe out your machine and put your stuff back on, and there you go, you beat it. It's easier said than done, of course, but that is the gist of it. All right, so I want to make this, let's see, what is this? I am loading meta, so we'll call this the meta JSON. I think that's what my dev streams will now be. It'll be me coding in Python game development and then talking about hacking. So yeah, this way I can hide from anybody looking for hacking stuff. They'll never know. It's clever. Kevin Nitwick. I do not know him personally, no. That is all I'll say about Kevin. See, parse. Alright, so I'm trying to remember, what is the syntax for looking at these? Oh, okay, so that already pretty much just names them for you. I just did Rust JSON recently, and gosh, not quite as easy. Okay, so we know it's good, and the piece I need, I really just need the frames. So that would be under results.data, I think. I think that's what this was, right? Yeah, so oh, it's just, ooh, I didn't do this part. I should do this part. That paste job didn't work out too well. Okay. Version checking. Yep, I should definitely do that here too. Oh, I forgot data. Oh, it's result. See, that's not obvious. All right. I prefer that. All right, so then I can say if meta has, ooh, would I call it takes or frames, or what did I call it? I have no memory. I called it frames. I think we should just store this within ourselves. Zero frames would be invalid, so I think that would work. What does it not like? Meta isn't declared. You are right. Now meta is declared. Okay. think that's good. So, okay, let me think about this. So this would happen right after we find the meta file. Meta file found, and then I called that file parse meta. And then we always should pass in, oh, I should probably make this an actual string. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine for now. Yep, and then once that's done, then we say Q for store, and then in Q for store, we set that, and then update CSV. Trying to decide if I want to actually put in a check to make sure it's not 0. I don't know that I care if they accidentally make it 0. Okay. Yepers. So that will put my frames in there. Is there anything else I need to update while I'm at this? Let's see. That'll give me frames. Notes are pretty much it for me. So sometimes when I'm recording stuff, I'll make a cyclic motion capture so that basically it ends where it starts, and so you can loop it forever if that's what you want to do. But that's nothing that the program currently handles automatically. And the other things in the meta file, I don't think I care about. Let's check them again. I can do the version checking, and I'm not going to embed this yet. I don't know that I'll ever embed it. I think it might be fine just in the file system. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So then back to the Ruby script. Oh, actually, I need to figure out where this is at. So is it right before? Oh, it's 2 before retake. So that's 6, 5, 4. The fourth entry, or fourth index over. All right. So what we basically need to do is copy and paste this. I think I said this was E, didn't I? Yes, this is E. I think I said 4. Yes, it was 4. Okay, so that should set that up, and then we should get our frames. Just trying to think if there's anything else I need. Don't think so. All right, so these updates queue, they'll queue up for all the ones I do. I think everything's saved. Let's just give it another run. Okay, gun, knife, aim, and down. Process this. And it's doing its thing. Okay, done. And then I think 118 is what I was doing last time, so it should be good if I make it 118. I will delete the excess frames. Okay, the motion should be good. Export it. Yeah, minus the wait time is pretty good. Oh gosh, I got so close. So it got to here and it died. Why? Full string array with value of type int. Does it need to be a string, I guess? I guess so. Alright, whatever. So we'll make that a string. And repeat. Being a developer is so much fun. Gun, knife, aim, and down. Process. This will be good though. Once all these bugs and stuff are out of here, I mean the processing mocap's gonna be very fast, which I like. Quicker I can make this, the cheaper I can make it. It's doing its thing. Okay, and then I'll do 118 again. And then export. Alright, okay, one away. I have a sync button now. I think we're good. Mocap accepted. Good. So we press sync. It says synced. Let's see if that's true. I don't see it. So it should have been, I think, this one. I think should have been updated. See if I can see any kind of output from this. Which window is the one they're running Godot from? It's Inkscape. But, you know, I can just run the script by hand actually, so it doesn't really matter. Update takes, see what it does. Okay, so this is why it didn't work. We got this. So I should check for the exit codes. That would tell me if the script worked or not. Although once this is working, it should always be working. Suspected end of input. So I have a problem with my Ruby. I think I'm missing an end right here. Found field update on row 4. It's probably good. And yeah, there we go. So now, by the time I flipped over to the script, you see knife aiming down. Frames are 0. That's a problem, but everything else got updated. So I assume it's a problem within my CSV file as well, which unfortunately I have to refer to as DAT files because Godot likes to use CSV as translation files. Takes to update. .NET. Oh, so I wrote a 0 into here, so the update script is working fine. What is not working is maybe parsing. Let's see. I don't want to put this in by hand because I don't want to work on that one anymore. I'll work on a different one. And we'll do a test. String of frames here. Frame start at 0. Oh, okay. So I was checking for this version, and what's actually in that file is Hacktop plugin version. It's a little bit different. All right. So I think that'll fix it. All right, let's look at another animation then. Let me refresh this retake. I think I should refresh this every time I do sync. That would make some sense. Automatically, not so you have to listen to it. Gun, aim, no, what was it? Gun, knife, aim. I have no idea this is down or what. That needs to be put into the meta. This way, if I decide that's not what this is for some reason, like maybe I got the take wrong or something like that, when we're done processing, the meta file should have the updated name, and then I can update this one. I'll add that right now. So that's a really easy thing to add now that I got the stuff in place. So we will look for action name. this. There, that'll fix it. So all I gotta do is when I go back to my Blender plugin, if I save the action name in the meta file, it'll parse it, read it, and update it. And that'll be excellent. Okay, so let's go back to this. All right. Shoot, what was I doing? So I don't actually know what this one looks like yet. Loading. Okay. Let's see. This one might be a long one as well. So normally it goes to 400. Oh, so it's like a sideward stance. Definitely not there. So the max is 238. All right, let's look at all this again. So sidewards aim. You better look at this guy. Okay, so looking to the side when aiming, and then puts the gun down. It stops at 115. So more of a stance version. Kind of steps forward though. It's a little bit weird. I don't know. I think I kind of like the sideways aim. It might be hard from a gaming perspective. It's not rotating. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. 106. I do want to change that, so I'm going to go ahead and change that now. Text open. Not that one. This one. All right, we go down to where we write our JSON file. Just down here. Let's just make a new line. All right, and this one's going to be called action name. And this is HT tool. I believe is action underscore name. Let me just double check. Yeah. Oh, actually, I have it just already as action name, so even less stuff. And yeah, okay, that's it. I should definitely do it. It won't affect this particular save though because it doesn't reload. I hate that. It's really annoying. I wonder if I could just uninstall it and reinstall it. I think that did work last time. Back top. Remove. Oh, remember. Install. Okay, that's good. Turn it on. All right. And now we'll try to do an export. Oh, I wanted to rename it. Gun and knife. Sideways. Down. And say export. Let's see what happens. Bum 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 bum. Dum dum dum. Okay, one away, which is probably right. Oh, this needs to be updated too. I'll do that later. I want to check the files before I do anything. So, text update. Oh, I didn't hit sync, so that one won't update. True. But there should be. Wait, how did it find it? Oh, because I call it the same as before. Yeah, I don't like that. But we can go ahead and check something, I guess, while we're here. So output to store. Let's gun and knife. Should be a sideways meta. Yeah. Okay, so at least that part worked. Or did it? Actually, no, it did not. It needs quotes. So that's invalid. Type Blender. Not easily. Is that a directory? Nope. Text open. So all I gotta do is put some backticks in here right before the last quote. So backslash, double quote, backslash, double quote. So I did it up here too, and so I was just missing that. Okay. Don't save. Okay. Shoot, I don't remember. Oh, actually, it should be here. So it was at 106. All right, be quick enough just to retest real quick. Okay, and then gun, knife. We'll just go ahead and fix it sideways. Aim. Aim it down. Yeah, okay. I think this will be the last thing for the night. If this is working, then I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a success, then I'll go check all the streams since I was really testing Restream. That was really the whole point of tonight's streaming. If Restream.io worked on both Twitch and YouTube, that'll be good. I did notice the chat app for Linux did not work, unfortunately. So I have a separate app here that sits on top that I should have been able to see chats on, and I could not. So I ended up relying on Twitch's to do that. All right, so 106. And then let's clean this up. And then export. Okay, went away, that's good. Let's say sync. It says synced. Did not sync though. So that part at least failed. Let's see if we can find out why real quick. So if I cat that file, oh, well, that file didn't work. I'm gonna have to uninstall it. It's got the old version. That's why. Wilp. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if I just run the update, set update field 5, which is I think. Oh no, it worked. This is still broken, but that interesting. Oh, no, I don't know why. That's weird. So did report I ran it by hand. So for the frames, it should be 106. All right, well, I'm digging that. This seems like a really small bug. So I'll come back and fix that eventually. All right, well, thanks for bearing with me as I did my tests. I'm going to switch off for the night, most likely for the night. And yeah, hopefully I'll see some of you guys on again later. Bye. Oh, I can hang up this thing too. The status up there. I forgot I left that on the whole time. Yeah, we'll see if that sticks around. All right, later all.